Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We are on episode 8 of Banana Fish, and I've been nervous the last 7 episodes to the point where I've just accepted it as part of my being watching the show. I'm labeling this the 5 stages of Banana Fish. I'm not quite sure what all 5 of them are at this point, but I know stage 1 is nervousness, and eventually it just becomes part of your subconscious as you watch the show. So stage 1 nervousness is done. Just assume I'm nervous going into every episode from here on in. Stage 2 is the sense of existential dread, which is what is happening going into this episode, because it's like every possible choice that could be made that's going to be detrimental to our protagonists has been made. It's just everything, just bad decisions, bad timing, bad situations. It's just a sense of dread at the start of this episode. And it has me anxious and dreading what is to come. So yeah, those are our 2 stages so far. I've entered stage 2 of the Banana Fish. Before we start this episode, I did do a little bit of research on the title of episode 7, which was The Rich Boy. And of all the titles I've researched so far, this one's probably been the most fascinating for me. The Rich Boy is another F. Scott Fitzgerald short story. It's a companion piece to The Great Gatsby, which I love The Great Gatsby, so I thought that was fascinating. But it's a short story that comes from the collection called All the Sad Young Men. And we're following on a journey with a bunch of sad young men. Well, and eBay and Max. So, interesting, right? So I did a couple notes here. It's mainly, The Rich Boy is about the effects of wealth on character. So at the end of the last episode, I thought the rich boy might have been associated with Michael, Max's son, because he gives him the baseball glove and he clearly loves his son, so the kid is rich in that sense of relationships. But no, I'm pretty sure the entire title was referring to Jet Lung, who is our Dragon Moon. Because the scene between Shorter and Dragon Moon where they're on the bed and he's like just letting him have it, saying, you know, my family trusted yours and you guys are just as corrupt as Golzine. That's tying so much to the title here. And there's a famous line from the book that says, money corrupts the will to excellence. So your pursuit of money and power is preventing you from doing the right thing. How relevant to our last episode. It's also talking about a theme of those that are self-indulgent waste their freedom, which I think is pretty interesting. And that can kind of go to Dragon Moon in the idea that maybe he's so indulgent in what he has that he's wasting the freedom that he also has. But there's also part of this that kind of ties to Ash and AJ. And that was, there's a note about the book, about the short story, The Rich Boy, that says that those who are rich are soft, whereas those who are poor are hardened at heart. But those who are rich are cynical, and those who are poor are trusting. And I thought that tied back to episode 5, where AJ says, oh, we can't trust anybody. He's being really cynical, but he's also a soft character. And Ash, who's this hardened character, is still trusting of people. So I thought that was a really cool parallel and connection to those characters. And then I pulled up the very opening lines of The Rich Boy are considered some of F. Scott Fitzgerald's most famous lines. And so I thought that this is pretty relevant to our show at this point. And it is, begin with an individual, and before you know it, you can find that you've created a type. Begin with a type, and you find that you've created nothing. That is because we are all queer fish, queerer behind our faces and voices than we want anyone to know or than we know ourselves. When I hear a man proclaiming himself an average, honest, open fellow, I feel pretty sure he has some definite and perhaps terrible abnormality which he has agreed to conceal. So to me, that last bit there, not only about the fish part, it's like, oh, banana fish, but the line about the open, honest fellow hiding the most ties straight back to Ash in the last episode. Ash thinking that something was up with Dragon Moon or Mr. I forget what they called him in that episode, but anyway, Dragon Moon, him being suspicious of him. So I thought that this title was really fitting for the last episode. I think episode 7, up until this point, might be my favorite episode so far, just because of everything they've set up, all of these intricate webs and relationships that they're starting to dive into, and I'm just really curious where it goes to from here. So I've wasted enough time. We're going to jump into episode 8 of Banana Fish, but wanted to share that with y'all. Little pieces, and let's continue our stage 2 of Banana Fish of existential dread as we dive into this episode. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy. Please feel free to comment down below. No spoilers, please. But we are going to start this episode here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh gosh. Oh no.
ああ、もしもし、ジェシカ。貴様誰だ。あんたの女房はいい味だな。別れるなんてもったいねえ。そら。マックス。ジェシカ。あんた、あの子だけは助けて。パ
パ。Oh my gosh.
そこにいるのか。二人の命が惜しかったな。
Ah, dang it! But that's not what his plan was. His plan was to take AG.
手に鉛玉ぶち込んでやる。この家に武器は。父の猟銃くらいしか出してくれ。弾も忘れるなよ。あしゅ。
Oh, but that wasn't Dragon Moon's plan. His plan was to kidnap AG.
従ってもらうぜ。あしゅ。なんでだよ。どうも様子がおかしい。俺たちをおびき出すつもりなら人質を別の場所に移して仕掛けてくるところをつくつもりなら二人。
Oh. Oh no, and he's in on it. Oh my gosh, Shorter. Oh, dude. Yeah, that's too convenient that... Because at first I was like, well, that wasn't part of the plan, to lure them out with Michael and Jessica. But it's to get them away so that Shorter can kidnap AG. That doesn't bode well for eBay, because eBay's stuck there with him. And eBay's not a liability. Well, eBay is a liability. He's not needed. Oh, and is AG going to be like... AG's going to find out Shorter betraying them, and... But then why lure him out? Why not just get Shorter and AG to go get eBay another Sunday and then just kidnap him that way? Why not do that? Why go to all the trouble to lure them all the way back out to Jessica and Michael's? Unless they're trying to get rid of Max. Because Max would be someone actually helpful in that situation. Okay, yeah, so... That shot of just Dragon Moon behind Shorter. Like, what a position. Shorter's in such a terrible position. Like, this shot here. This is what I've been wanting to see since 7. Oh, yep, it's him. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, you're taking somebody with some PTSD to this scene where his wife and son are in danger. What do you expect? Ugh.
さすがアッシュだね。あのどさくさであそこまで気が回るなんてさ。言ったよお前が。
Of course it was.
わざわざ残してくれるなんてありがたくて涙が出るね。さあ、ショーターウォン。
ああ。
警察が。ジェシカ、マイケル。
Oh. Oh.
ジェシカ。マイケルおいで。パパとママはお話があるんだってさ。
Oh, and Ash being like so sweet to that little kid. Oh. Yeah, I thought they were gonna kill them. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, this poor kid's traumatized. Okay, good. George called the cops. Good, good. They weren't Wait! No, no! acupuncture.
これでもう彼は動けない。もう目も見えない。耳も聞こえない。指一本動かせない。
Oh my gosh.
ただの生きた人形さ。だけどこっちの男は違う。目も耳も聞こえる。つまりこの一部始終を見てる。あんたの裏切りもね。
Oh my
アッ
gosh.
シュに伝えて。ニューヨークのリー・ワンルンの元へ来いって。さもなければこの少年はゴルツネの悪趣味な餌食だ。帰ってくるときは命はもちろん
Oh my
人の
gosh.
姿をしてないだろうね。
Oh my gosh. Oh, eBay.
イベさん、すまねえ。これだけは信じてくれ。俺の命にかけてエイジには指一本触れさせねえ。約束する。
バナナフィッシュか。確かにあの薬なら人騒動
Oh, shorter.
面白いなって僕をそれとも。
おいアッシュ、
So he's all this internal monologue with him.
チャイナタウンが俺たち
Yes, yes, okay, yep.
やっぱりあの輸出が犬だったんだ。
Yeah.
だとしてるさ。
Yeah, he's suspicious of something.
エイジ、イベ
Oh.
大丈夫か。どうしたんだ。エイジと翔太は。
Oh no.
おい、どこに行く気だ。決まってる。チャイナタウンだ。奴の戻るとこはそこしかねえ。お待て。俊一が。違う。
Oh, they're getting on a friggin' airplane.
だった。
He just shows up with a wine glass. Like, here I
君
am.
の働きは私から兄によく勘違いしないでくれ。俺はこいつのそばを離れる気はね。もちろんあんたたちの傘下に下る気もな。
Hmm.
両親の呵責の親友。
客人が見えたようだ。
Oh, hell.
おさ。よう、久しぶりだな。
Just popped in.
犬になり下がったってわけか。言葉に気をつけろ。俺はもうお前らのようなチンピラじゃない。だから犬の指を舐めてお仲間にしてもらったんだろうが。を選んだお前よりもな。お前は永遠にアッシュには勝てない。
Tell him, shorter.
いつか身をもって知ることになるだろうさ。まあいい。断る。
Don't say that.
ご所望の
あ
中国ネゴじゃんね。写真を見て一目でお気に召したらしい。アッシュが知ったらさぞ苦しむだろう。自分のせいでこいつが昔の自分と同じ地獄に落ちるんだが、
Uh.
そうなっとくと見てもらおうじゃないか。こいつから引き離そうってんだ。今すぐにやっちゃうぜ。何もちろん俺もあと一人じゃ行かせない。
Oh, buddy.
大事な手土産を死なせたらお前の立場もなくなるぜ。よさないか。無礼だぞ。
ごめんなさい。だって
おかしけりゃ笑えよ。さあどうする。王さん。やれやれ。
And he'd do it. He would do it at this
こ
point.
こは私に免じてカニスター・ゴルツニには私。
Oh my gosh.
触んな。何もいらねえ。どうした。ずいぶん感情的だな。
別に少し疲れただけさ。
しかしお前は相変わら
Isn't
ず
that his brother?
我が弟ながら心騒がせられる。
Ew.
それにしても父の心を乱したあの女に今でもよく覚えているぞ。まだ15だったが今のお前に生き写し
So are they half siblings?
僕もよく覚えていた時だったけれど、両の目から涙を、胸から血を流していた。
恨んでいるのか。
もう済んだことです。
Oh. So are they half siblings then? They're not full-blooded siblings?
よくだ。チャイナタウンエイジ返してほしければ。やはり翔太が
許すさ。
信じられん。翔太
Oh, yeah.
あいつも中国人なんだ。苦しかったに違いない。もう少し気をつけていれば。
気もいる。そういうことか。敵は二人に増えたってわけだ。ワンル許してねえ。誰だ。いるのは分かってるぜ。出てこい。最高に頭に に来て
Oh, how did he detect it?
出てこねえならぶち殺すぜ。待て、撃つな。
Who's this dude?
お前はそれはこちらのセリフだ。人のうちに勝手に入り込んで。私は
Oh, so they've been
そうか。
having his house the whole time.
ドースンが自宅に現れたようです。ありますが、どうかご安すでに。
Oh, and now we got Cinders involved?
ならいい。その件については君に一任しよう。ところで、本当にあれは使えるのか。
Oh, and the military's involved too!
大佐、人体実験か。以前のようなことは。
Oh!
あの時は自殺ということで肩がついたが。あれはすでに完璧です。以前のような試作品ではありません。
And the prototype was what was used on Griffin's unit.
すでに選出しております。
Oh, no, 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 no!
許してくれ。
Oh, not Eiji!
したことをこれほど悔やんだことはね。
Oh my gosh.
常な野郎がお前に妙な真似をしようとした。必ずこの手で。
Oh.
この解毒剤は大抵の筋弛緩剤に効果がある。
Oh my gosh.
バナナフィッシュ。あれはあんたの作ったものだな。お前たちの仲間か。
Mm.
俺の飲まされて廃人同様になった
This music.
あんたの弟に殺されたんだ。何？俺はその場にいた。奴とは親友が話を聞く。
Yeah, get some explanation going.
おい、俺はこんなとこでグズグズしてらんねえんだ。マッシュ、あんたの弟が組んでる連中が仲間をかっさらってきやがったんだからな。
Oh.
分かった。ついて。
Oh.
あんた今までどこに？たちにつきまとわれてな。別荘にいたんだが。
Okay.
誰かが私の PC に入り込んだ
And
のが。
from Ash hacking his
しかし残
computer.
念だがあれはダミー。弟と
Oh.
ってることばかりだ。
Hello.
こんな解かなかったようだ。いつかこういう日が来るのではない。あれはもう20年前。
Oh, we getting some backstory, y'all.
私は新米の糸はまだ学生だった。
Oh.
ある時、ドラッグを作っ
Getting some Breaking Bad in here, right?
そこで私たちは偶然作り出してしまったのだ。
Oh.
あの悪魔を。ご足労でした、ミスター・オーサー。次期ムッシュ・ゴルツネからの迎えもつくはずです。翔太。
Oh, and Shorter's like been by his side this whole time.
さて、改めて聞こう。
あれは我々には何の意味もないものです。アルカル系を麻痺させ、心不全に似た症状を起こさせない。暗殺用としては極めて優れています。
本当か。
専門家に仕込んだのは兄さんのはずでしょう。
なぜデータを手に入れなかった？
Oh.
そんな隙を見せたりはしない。ただの少年ではないことは分かっているでしょう。
だからお前を送り込んだのだ。
Oh.
お前でもやのか。嘘ではないだろうな。
Mm.
どうして嘘なんか。
私はいつでもお前の補足日などへし折れる。よく覚えておくことだ。ポアル、お前が私の名代としてあの二人をゴルツネに引き渡してこい。はい。お前も行け。
Ah.
奴はお前のことは何も知らん。ゴルツネの
Ah. The plot thickens.
見殺しにはせん。お前にはまだまだ働いて。
Oh, this is getting interesting, y'all.
奴は何も知らないか。ワンルン兄さん。
Oh.
バナナフィッシュはただの暗殺用のチャチな薬物じゃない。言ったら
悪夢だ。
Oh.
悪 LSD などある種の薬物は幻覚作用を引き起こす。使った人間の精神状態が良くなる。
Right.
バッドトリップによ。バナナフィッシュは全ての人間にこのバッドトリップをもたらすのだ。どんな人間だろうともこの悪夢から逃れることはできん。恐怖や憎悪、あらゆるナーバスな感情を拡大させて。
And using it on somebody that would be in a situation like Iraq would just be
商売にならねえ。
insane.
第一、そんなものに軍が興味を示すとも思えん。ああ、これだけではただの粗悪な幻覚剤に過ぎない。
Mm.
問題なのはこれが外部からの刺激を受けやすいという点だ。薬物暗示というのを知っているか？旧ソ連が開発した薬物による催眠暗示で。
Oh, we're getting some KGB stuff.
でもあれ れは確実性が低くて全く実用化されなかったって話です。バナナフィッシュはそれに
Oh!
あれは使いようによっては兵器にもなり得るものだ。
例えばあれを飲ませた上で原因は害虫だ、奴らを殺せと言えばその通りのことが起こる。
Oh!
だってそのバカな。最初にそのことに気づいたのは弟だ。もう一人の仲間が出来上がったばかりの薬を試して死んだ。私は恐ろしくなって薬を処分したが弟は隠し持っていたんだ。
Oh my gosh!
そしてイラクの地で
Yep.
兵士たち
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
モルモットにしたのか。
Yep.
仲間をグリフを。
Mm.
お前らがそんなもんを作ったせいで兄貴もスキップもみんな。兄貴は兄さんはそのために悪夢にうなされ続けて。
Oh my gosh.
これであのジジイの腹が分かった。
Yep.
さああんたの弟と組んで合衆国と
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know.
お待たせしました。これは私の末の弟。
Ah,
訳あってお供させて。
では参りましょう。
like just wrapped him up like a present.
何がおかしい。
別に
人に悟空に差し出されるというのに。
分かっているよ。
Hmm.
できないのなら共に滅びるまでさ。忘れはしない。母を殺したお前たちを
Oh.
必ず破滅させてやる。お前たちが蔑み癒しんできたこの僕が。
Oh my gosh.
弟が人体実験をしたことを知って薬を盛りで。だが
処分しなかった
But you
んだ。
didn't.
あんたは。私は科学者だ。未知の発見を無に帰してしまうことはできなかった。
What's the Jeff Goldblum quote from Jurassic Park?
話せよ。こいつを殴らねえと気が済ま
You
ない。
never thought if you should?
じゃない。俺にやらせろ。
Oh. Yep.
シュミチ。これは。
Oh my gosh. Oh. Eiji.
ディノ・ゴルツィネの大いなる陰謀か。もし合衆国が後ろ盾になれば。
Yeah, if the government's backing him up, like, what? Who's gonna stop him?
しまった。役者が揃ったようだな。お前たちをニューヨークまでお送りするぜ。
大げさだな。
口の利き方に気をつけろよ、ポーズ。シュミチ。
おい、なんで俺だけ後ろなんだよ。俺じゃしょんべんもできねえよ。
お、いい持ち物だな。よせ、殺す気か。そのお楽しみはムッシュ・ゴルツィネが予約済みだ。ところでマックス、あんたの女房はいい女だな。
Oh my god.
上がっジェシカを。マックス。
Oh, Max!
敵は必ず取ってやるぞ。連れてけ。
Oh no! That was all the evidence. That was everything they needed. Banal's story. Dang it! Well, gosh, oh my gosh. So, there was a lot of interesting setup there. We finally figured out what banana fish is. It can make people hallucinate, it can give you an eternal case of bad trips, and if someone tells you to kill whoever, then you'll do it, whether you want to or not. That's terrifying. And of course, the US government's like, we need this. So, and Goldstein's like, I will, yeah, it's just like Ash said, he basically would be the top underdog. He'd be the top dog in the underworld if he had control, like, power from the government, everybody, he could just get away with anything and nobody's gonna stop him. Oh my gosh. Man, I feel for Shorter because the death flags are on him like 100% because I mean Golzine doesn't care if he dies or not, but just his dedication. He's like, AG, I got you into this mess. I'm gonna see it through with you, and him just being like, okay, if you guys do anything, I'm gonna kill him and then myself, because I think at this point Shorter knows he's really just on borrowed time, which Shorter's like my favorite character in this whole show. So I'm like, like I don't see how he can make it out of this unless Ash saves him. But like the fact that he's willing to risk his life to make sure AJ is safe. My heart. And poor AG is just being floated along in all this. I'm like, is Golzine gonna plan on using banana fish on AG? Because that's terrifying. And no, please. No. Do not want that. At all. I'm glad that Michael and the wife are okay. Like, that was my biggest fear, was that Michael was going to get that call at the beginning of the episode and she was just going to be dead and he was just going to find out that way. But, no, thank goodness they're okay. That poor traumatized kid, though. But, okay, so Dragon Moon. Like, the parallels between him and Ash become a little bit more apparent. Or at least I think that they're a little bit more connected, because Ash, on the surface, seems like he's this gang leader at the beginning of the show, and like he's this person that's a leader and in charge of things. But under the surface, he's really at Golzine's mercy in episode 1. Like, Golzine's basically telling him what to do and has that like hand on his shoulder, like, you're going to do what I say. And Dragon Moon is very much the same way in this episode, where he seems like he's this up-and-coming gang leader. That's how Lee presents him to Golzine. But he's not. He's really seemingly being controlled by his older brothers or older half-brothers. And just like Ash, under the surface, is really out to get Golzine, Dragon Moon, under the surface, is really out to get his brothers. Because he's kind of not happy that his mother died at their hands. And that clearly he's had some like kind of ancestral stuff going on, which is gross. That one brother, I was like, ooh, you guys are like half siblings. Ew. So again, I'm wondering, like, where is this going? Like, his character has the biggest question mark for me, because he seems like he will make decisions benefiting himself. But also, I'm like, on the other hand, is he going to help AG and Shorter? Because I can kind of see him double-crossing his brothers and doing that to get some satisfaction out of the situation. But I don't know. His character is the most aloof to me and the hardest to read. But there's definitely cracks in the surface there. Like, he seems like this perfect, pristine boss, but he's not at all. That's so intriguing. So intriguing. But yeah, we finally get confirmation of what banana fish is and what it can do and how dangerous it is. And then all of the evidence is just burnt away. And the brother, I don't see them letting him live. I think he's going to be next to go. But I'm glad eBay didn't die. I was really worried about eBay when I thought he was poisoned, honestly. When he collapsed on the couch, I'm like, oh, they poisoned him. He's dead. But they just, like, paralyzed him. But this episode was definitely more of a setup, like a transitional episode from 7 to wherever it's going now. And they're going back to New York, so we had a short 2-episode stint in LA. And now the gang's all traveling back to New York. But I feel like we you guys said a few weeks ago, you're like, at what cost is the theme of this show? So we get finally information about banana fish, but at what cost? AJ isn't dead yet, and Shorter is with him, but at what cost? We get more Dragon Moon, but at what cost? It's like, And, oh man, and Arthur being involved, like, I don't know, y'all. It just, again, an existential sense of dread and foreboding. It's phase 2 of Banana Fish, and that's where I'm at. So, this episode wasn't as crazy intense as last episode, but still, all the developments, all of the twists and turns with these relationships, like what they're setting up is is interesting. So that's all I'm going to say. But man, you guys, it's been a wild ride so far. I'm only 8 episodes in. So I feel like I say that every week. I'm like, it's been a wild ride. And you guys are like, you still have 16 episodes to go. So thank you all so much for watching this week's episode of Banana Fish. I'm going to look into Banal's story and see what in the world that's about. That sounds interesting. It's a weird title than what we've had in the past, so I'm curious. But in any case, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay safe, take care, and I'll be back soon with more Banana Fish.